Want a bountiful harvest this growing season? A successful crop starts with beautiful, rich soil. Today, I'm going to bring you along and show you what soil prep I'm doing to set myself up for success this growing season. Hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a couple of tricks up your sleeves to help set yourself up for success too. It is freezing out here, so I don't want to be out here too long, but the first thing I'm wanting to do is collect some soil samples so that I can do some soil testing. Later on in the video, I'm also going to be showing you how I make compost, so make sure to stick around for that. We've been experimenting with growing our food for a couple of years now, and this year we're really wanting to hone in and focus on growing enough food to feed our families sufficiently. So that is why I'm wanting to do some soil testing today to just help set myself up for success. I've got a couple of soil and compost piles that I'm wanting to test, as well as an in-ground area because I'm wanting to make an in-ground garden bed and fill a couple of new raised garden beds as well. So I'm going to need a lot of rich soil to fill all of those areas up. This is the first year that I'm really wanting to grow a lot of food for our family to actually make a dent in what we buy from the supermarket. So if you're like me and maybe you've been growing food for a while but you're wanting to become a little more self-sufficient, maybe doing soil testing would be a good idea for you as well. It just allows you to know what nutrients your soil has and what it's lacking so that you can make the right amendments to give your food the best chance of growing. As I've been planning my spring garden over the past few weeks, I've really been learning about and looking into what each specific crop likes in terms of nutrients, what they like more of, what they like less of, and also what pH level each plant likes, and how to amend the soil naturally so that I can get the best out of my crops. It's a really good idea to learn about and understand what nutrients plants need to help them grow. Plants need 3 main nutrients to grow. Often on fertilizers you'll see NPK. This stands for nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Nitrogen supports the thick, rich growth of plants. Phosphorus encourages the root development, and potassium is responsible for the formation of the flower buds and fruits of a plant, as well as their overall health. Like us, plants need many other nutrients to be healthy, but getting to know what each crop's main nutrients needs are will lead to better health of the plants and better crop yields. As a general rule of thumb, leafy greens like lettuce are going to like a little bit more nitrogen, root crops like carrots benefit from potassium, and things like blueberries like more acidic soil. And the reason that I'm doing all of this learning and testing is so that I can grow the best quality food that I possibly can for my family. I'll be doing a whole video on garden planning very shortly, so make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss that. Alrighty, it's freezing, so let's get to getting that soil sample. So this area here in front of the beehive is where I'm wanting to do another in-ground garden bed. So I'm going to grab a soil sample from here to see whether or not we're going to need to add some more rich soil or what. This area is where we ran our meat chickens last summer, so it'll be interesting just to see what the nutrients levels are like. When getting a soil sample for a large garden bed area, it's a good idea to get a mix of soil from a couple different areas within the space where you're wanting to make the garden bed, just to get a good idea of the overall soil nutrients. This next area I'm wanting to get a sample from is where we've previously grown potatoes. This year I'm hoping to grow potatoes elsewhere, just so that we can grow a bigger number of potatoes. And I'll be interested to see what the soil is like. We're under the pine trees here, so there's a lot of pine needles through it. It's quite dry, crumbly soil. I'm thinking it won't be very rich just because it's so light in colour and in feel, but I guess we'll see. I'm hoping that we can incorporate this and mix it in with some compost and use it to fill our raised garden beds with. I'm also just getting another sample from here under the pine trees. This area here is where our lawnmower guy dumps the grass clippings, so there's a lot more darker composted soil here. So I'm guessing it's full of nitrogen being with the grass clippings, but I guess we'll see. These chickens are following me around, having a look around for bugs. The last sample I wanted to get is some of our own compost that we make, just to make sure that it's got all the right nutrients in it at the right amounts. Alrighty, we've got our soil samples, so tomorrow I'm going to do those soil tests and walk you through that, and also make some compost and show you that too. So let's jump forward to that. So this soil testing kit I got from homeandsoiltestkits.co.nz, and what it tests for is it tests the pH level, but it also tests nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium as well, so you can see if it's low, medium or high in your soil. So that's pretty cool. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and read the instructions and start testing the soil. Alrighty, so it's been around a minute, and looking at the soil sample and the thingy there, it looks like it's around a 6 on the pH scale there. So that's cool. Cool, so looking at the results for that soil where we have been growing the potatoes, it's mostly high in everything with just being medium in phosphorus, so that's pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead now and test the other soils. So we are finally done with the soil test, and all in all I'm pretty happy with the results. I think mixing some of the piles of soil with our compost should make our soil really healthy. It is the next morning and we are ready to make some compost, so the first thing we need to do is go and rake up some leaves. Let's go this way, Mabel. Good job. I've just been raking the coop daily, or every other day at the moment, and saving all of this chicken poo mixed in with the coffee grinds for when I was ready to make compost. Alrighty, I think I have everything I need here to make compost. So the method that I like to use is the 21-day method, or the Berkeley method, and it's just good because you can get compost fast. This method is a hot composting method where you like the compost pile to heat up and it helps it break down faster. The key to making good compost is having a variety of ingredients. So today I'm going to be using leaves for my carbon, and then for my nitrogen I've got grass clippings and food scraps as well, and I've also got some wood ash from the fire, as well as some chicken poo from the coop that's mixed in with coffee grinds. So basically I'm just going to layer all of the ingredients, starting with some leaves on the bottom. I found that doing thin layers, especially with the leaves, works best. I'm not looking forward to this part. Look at all that goodness. So for this method to work effectively, you're going to want to have enough ingredients to make a cubic meter of compost. Having a compost pile of this size is going to help to retain heat and to help everything to break down. Now, I've heard that as time goes on, if your pile is too dry, you can add more grass clippings, and if it's too wet or smelly, to add more leaves. Once you've laid all your ingredients, you're just going to want to add a little bit of water to make it moist, and then I cover it with a tarpaulin just to help retain that heat. For today, that's all done. All I've got to do is every 2 or so days come and turn the pile so that it gets aerated, and that just helps it break down as well. So over here is some that I started a few weeks ago. Now this has probably been sitting here for a bit longer than 21 days, but I honestly have only turned it a couple of times. So this is sort of not quite finished. And over here I've got some that is finished. It's been sitting here for a while. As you can see, it's all broken down and lovely there. And it's got some sticks through it, but that's not an issue. I can always sieve through it before I chuck it on the garden. But yeah, so that's what it turns out like in 21 days. Honestly, making compost is not hard, whether you use the 21-day method or another method. Just a good mix of different ingredients, turn the pile every now and then, and eventually you will have beautiful compost to go in your garden. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up because that really supports my channel, and consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time. Also, YouTube thinks you might like this video, so go ahead and give it a watch. What are you doing? Oh jeez. Yep.